Tabu kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashapaham Sravana mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Dear devotees and friends, good evening. This is another Wednesday and we are going to study the Panchama Veda Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. We were studying that Sunday, October 5th, 1884 account of the Master Mahashaya, and now I will be starting from page number 591. Here Sri Ramakrishna is telling and quoting Hajra Mahashaya. Hajra, the devotee, he was there. He used to claim that he is following the path of jnana, knowledge. So he used to study the Hindu scriptures like Upanishads, used to quote from there. But as we have already got introduced with the Hajra, we know that he was having some other intentions also. So all those scripture quoting, all those taking the name of God was nothing but his trying to get the trying to introduce himself with the rich devotees. That is the most ugly things we can say in the spiritual life. So we need money, of course, and particularly those who are running the organization, institutions, and nowadays individual swamis, the sannyasins, mendicants are very less, all are almost organized according to the condition, situation of the society. We need money, we need donation, but at the same time, if we are going to only to those people who are rich to satisfy them, we do something which actually we don't do. This hypocrisy, that is a terrible thing. The Swami Vivekananda said, I can stand everything but hypocrisy. So now the Hajra, he was in that way, we can say, a hypocrite. Hajra said that God was not like such wealthy people of the world. Did he lack wealth? Hajra arguing with Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he is telling the devotee can ask wealth from the God, or if he is not asking, automatically the God will give wealth to the devotee. According to Hajra, almost the proof of his devotion that he will be blessed with the wealth by God. So but Sri Ramakrishna is telling to the devotees, he said, but I call this impure devotion to God. It is a devotion, but impure devotion to God. Pure devotion has no desire behind it. So this is the difference. Sri Ramakrishna is the God himself, Avatara Varishtaya. And why he has come? To lead the humanity to the Godhead, so that they get the liberation from the game of this Maya. And he himself said in the beginning itself, that each and every individual, the goal of every human life is nothing but God realization. God realization. Happy, satisfied, successful life in the world? No, Sri Ramakrishna never talks like that. But he gives the chances. Okay, you are not ready? No problem. But the goal is to realize God. And how to realize God? Only by hankering for God and nothing else. And what else is there except God? This world. And what is this world? Name, fame, and all these beauties. So obviously we have to be very, very careful. If we are going towards God, we have to shun this world. The nama, rupa, name and form, this is the world. And beyond that is the God. that is the consciousness or the Brahman. Sri Ramakrishna is very, very particular to guide the devotees. I repeat the word devotees, those who love God, those who want to realize God, those who want to go to God. For them, Sri Ramakrishna says, no, that is impure devotion. The devotion with desire to be successful, to get property, get money in this world. Pure devotion, no desire behind it. Love for love's sake. You don't want anything from me, but you love to see me and hear my words. He is giving an example. My mind also dwells on you. I wonder how you are and why you don't come. If a person is going to someone and constantly asking the favor, obviously that person won't like him. But if he is going only to, because he likes him, he loves him, so he goes, sir, how are you? And he wants to listen to him. So naturally, slowly, that person will also develop the sympathy, love, and then he will inquire, where is that man who is to come? So that love will be there. And then when he will come to know that some trouble is there, will surely help. So God's grace is kripa. In Sanskrit they say kripa. You have to, kri means you have to perform something and you have to do something. You have the practices of austerities, that is for to get the blessings of God. And then you will get it. Kripa. They pan the word like that and they say, what is this kripa? God's grace. And God's grace, how it comes? Without any effort. And when without any effort means what? I love God. I depend on God. I have complete faith on God. But at the same time, I am not asking anything from God. So this is, on this point, we must discuss a little, because sometimes some of the people, they are confused, shall we not pray to God for anything? The one mother recently, she called me from India and she was asking the clarification of this. My children are there in US, America, and one of them is in New York. Shall I not pray to God, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, for her well-being? Her daughter. I told you must. Why not? Where you will go? So we have to go to God and say, I love my child and she is there in the New York, and every day I am reading that this is a so bad condition. So please protect my children. A mother, a father, obviously they can do. Why not? Where you will go? He is my father, he is my mother, I can. But you know, the selfish motive, that is exactly what Sri Ramakrishna is meaning. It is not a selfish motive. As a householder, he is having his family. Sannyasins, nothing. But we pray. Pray for whom? For everyone. For everyone. So that Belur Math Durga Puja we do. Durga Puja is nothing but prayer, prayer, prayer. Dhanam Dehi, Jasham Dehi, Rupam Dehi, all give, 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 give. So why the sannyasins are performing Durga Puja? For the betterment of the world, for the betterment of the devotees, not for us. So that always we can do, otherwise where we will go? This moment I have to survive. So obviously I will turn to God. Almost everywhere. All Hindus are now chanting the Chandi and worshipping, and many are chanting the Shiva, Stotra, etc., etc. They are all doing whatever they feel that we should do. The Hanuman Chalisha, many of them they are chanting regularly. So why? Because we believe that God only can take out all this problem from the humanity. Last 2 months, all over the world, whole humanity is suffering. And being a religious person, shall I not pray to God for that? So this also we have to understand. When Sri Ramakrishna said the impure devotion is a purely selfish motive to love God. What type? God, please help me so that I become successful in the litigation. That is selfish motive. And then I want to get this, I want to get that. You need not. One a lady came to Ma Sharada Mani Devi, and she was praying to Ma Sharada, Mother, please bless my husband so that his profession becomes successful. Professionally becomes successful. Mother asked, what is the profession of your husband? He is a doctor. Then the mother told, no, my daughter, I cannot do that. Success of your husband means suffering of other people. They should be ill, then they will go to a doctor, then your husband will earn. No, how can I give the blessings on that? So this is the thing. So what is the impure devotion? This purely selfish motive. But when I am praying for the whole world, praying for my children to protect them, I don't think that is selfish. So we have to understand it clearly, otherwise there will be confusion, and we will be in two ways. And what to do? I am a mother, I cannot pray for my child. Why not? You pray for your child. At the same time, pray for others also. At the pray for Sarvastaratu Durgani, Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu. In the Chandagya Upanishad, in the Veda, they are teaching us to pray like this. Oh God, please remove all these miseries from the whole world. That is also prayer to God. This is not a selfish prayer. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling that is, my mind also dwells on you. I wonder how you and why don't come. You don't want anything of God, but still you love Him. This is called the pure bhakti, love of God, with no motive behind it. Prahlada had it. He sought neither kingdom nor riches. He sought Hari alone. Now, the stages are there. So we have to understand that stages also. When we are devoted to God, then children, they also go to the temple, and the parents are asking them to pray to God. So they will be asking the mother, what shall I pray? You should be successful in your exam, because that is the difficult for the child. So naturally, exam success. Then when he growing up, then having the faith in God, for everything is going and talking to God, this is happening, that is happening. In the household life, it is obvious, natural. But for a monk, what type of the prayer should be there? Give me the devotion so that I can be liberated from this life, from this bondage, from all desires. Give me that devotion. That should be the prayer. And then monk, always praying for the others. So the first he will say, please bless all others. So when we get the initiation, our gurus, the teachers, before starting your japa and meditation, you must pray for the well-being all around you and the people all over. So naturally, the first thing. Then afterwards we pray, give me the devotion or the faith or the knowledge so that I can overcome this Maya, the bondage of Maya. Now these stages are there, so we must start with that. But pure selfish thing is completely different. I think that we should understand the completely selfish and the prayer for our beloved or the loving ones, that is a different thing. Aim now giving his opinion about the Hajra. He said, he is a chatterbox. He won't achieve anything unless he becomes silent. The Sri Ramakrishna was talking about Hazra. Now, Aim gave his opinion. He is criticizing Hazra. This is a two different thing. We will come to this point, and very, very not only important, interesting also. Now and then he comes to me and becomes mellowed. But he is a pest. Again, he argues. It is very hard to get rid of egotism. You may cut down an ashwatha tree, but the next day a sprout will spring up. As long as the roots remain, the tree will grow again. Ashwatha, that tree we know mainly in the warm countries, it is there. Without any water also it can survive, and it will never die. And particularly in the old buildings, you will find slowly where from it is coming, maybe with the birds and all, and then it is growing on the rooftop, slowly breaking the building itself. So we know about. And this tree, giving the example of the tree, Sri Ramakrishna said, it is like the ego. This moment we feel, oh, there is no ego, it goes away. The second, next again we find, no, it is already there. So like that it says, I said to Hazra, don't speak ill of anyone. Now this is the point we need to discuss. Master Mahashaya, he criticized him. He knew that, Hazra Mahashaya, and he said he is a chatterbox. He won't achieve anything unless he becomes silent. He goes on telling many things, but he doesn't know and makes mistakes, but with the proud. As Ramakrishna, he reached to that point. Because of the ego, so he is going on giving his own opinions. This is the point. Now, two different approaches. Friends, I was just searching what the other religions say about this criticism. This is a criticism that we are doing. Sri Ramakrishna, he is also talking about Hazra. Master Mahashaya gave his opinion. No one is appreciating him. Is it not a criticism? But Sri Ramakrishna said, I told Hazra, don't speak ill of anyone. How is it? In the religion, particularly in the spiritual life, this is the most important thing. We should not criticize others. What is this criticism? Now, Dhammapada, it says that Buddha, Lord Buddha is telling, speak only endearing speech. Speech, when it bring no evil to others, is a pleasant thing. It is very clear from the Buddhas. So, Buddhism, we can say that, as Swami Vivekananda said, the rebel child of Hinduism. A lot of Hinduism, influence of Hinduism, shadows of Hinduism are there. Both Hinduism, Buddhism, they follow almost the same thing. Now, here it says, endearing speech. Speech, when it brings no evil to others, is a pleasant thing. We have to remember this. We have to keep in mind this point. I am telling something about others, but that is not bringing any evil. This is going to help them. So, endearing thing, that's also, yeah, that is true. I must have to understand this, I have to rectify this. Teachers in the classrooms constantly going on correcting the students. Are they finding faults? If you say, hey, you should not find fault. No, this is not. I heard long back one brahmachari who was in charge of the kitchen of a big asrama. He saw and he noticed that the cooks and the people who were working in the kitchen, it was a big kitchen, so they are taking the things, and it was not, they were actually stealing. He saw it, noticed it, but never said to those people, and nor he went to the in charge and reported those things. Why? When afterwards, when it was those people were caught and it was reported that in church, Swami asked him, "You noticed it?" "Yes, sir. And I noticed that for last 3-4 months they were doing it, or more longer than that. Why you have not reported to me?" "No, Mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi said, don't find fault with others." That's the very important statement of Ma Sharadamani Devi. If you want peace, my children, don't find fault with others. That's correct. So he took it in that view. They are doing the wrong thing, but who am I to criticize them? Who am I to report against them? I should not. Is this the right point? Is the right the viewpoint of this statement of Ma Sharadamani Devi? No. But there the duty, it says that you must have to do that, because my duty is to take care of the kitchen and things around, and it is not a small thing. It's a huge kitchen, the big asrama. Every day nearly 800 people taking the food 4 times. You can imagine. So obviously he was supposed to report it to his superior, the Swami in charge over there, but he didn't do that because he was misunderstanding the the teachings of Ma Sharadamani Devi. So this is the viewpoint. Now Buddha also said, "Speak only enduring speech. Speech, when it bring it no evil to others, is a pleasant thing." That's correct. But you have to understand it when and who is doing it. A police officer, he has to take out a person who was caught doing something wrong, and naturally police is interrogating how he will behave. There are many ways, of course, but here you cannot apply this thing. You have to take other measures also to get the right the information from that particular person. A terrorist and or the informer of the terrorist, if they are arrested, how will you behave with them? So these are the very practical thing. Religion, religious teachers, they are giving us the advices, and how those advices can be applicable in our day-to-day life. And if they are not applicable, then what is the use of those speeches or the advices? So here we have to apply our discriminating capacity. Here he says, normally, usually, I should not hurt others with my speech. Rather, I should present the whole thing in such a way so it becomes helpful to others. But in a particular situation, I should take different measure. So this is what Buddha says. Another, he said, should you find a wise critic to point out your faults, follow him as you would a guide to hidden treasures. He is giving that is called the spiritual practice. Yet if there is someone who is a positive criticism, then someone will say you should not do it, you should not do that. When we become novices in the spiritual life, to become a monk, our seniors, almost in every step, every day, every time, they should to observe us and to say, better you should not do this, better you should do this, you must speak in this way, you must wear the dress like this. Everything, all the time, they used to guide as the mother will guide or the parents will guide to the children. Because by that way only you grow. Is it a criticism? No, it cannot be. The criticism we have to understand to belittle that person, to insult that person. Not when I am criticizing that man, I am not trying to help. I am trying to denounce him, to insult him. That is criticism. So this difference we must understand. In the Quran also, Hazrat Muhammad, he said, do not criticize. Then a very nice way he puts, do not criticize. You will not die unless you experience what you criticize. I am criticizing our others, oh, they are not telling the truth, oh, they are like this, oh, like that. But Hazrat Muhammad said that you have to go through all those things. Unless and until you are yourself rectified, you have no right to denounce others. So that is the viewpoint of the Islam. We have people may not following that. That is a different thing. But the founders of the religion, the true understanding of the religion of these founders are so clear that those who are claiming that I am the follower of so and so, but not understanding or misinterpreting or utilizing for his selfish motive, that is a different thing. But here the truth is, all religion says, be careful before criticizing others. Now the Bible, Lord Jesus said, in James, he says, do not complain, brethren, against one another, so that yourself may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing right at the door. In a different way and very flowery language he is using, but what he said, God will judge. Are you also correct? If you are not correct, then you don't have the right to criticize others. That is the point. Don't speak ill of anyone. When the Sri Ramakrishna is telling it to Hajara, he is not criticizing him or trying to denounce him, to insult him. He is trying to rectify him. So when we are finding fault with love, with affection, with an idea to make the person perfect, then it is not criticism. So this we have to understand. All the religion, they speak in this way. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling like this, he is not criticizing Asra. He is trying to help him, and we should also understand, we should also learn a proverb that say, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stir up anger. So this is for practical uses. So when something is happening, maybe in the office, the boss trying to show that he is the boss, sometimes they will shout, and in high speech they will say, be humble before him. You are confident that you have not done anything. But when you are giving the answer softly, gently, so that fire will go. This is a practical way. But this is not the point we are discussing. We are discussing whether we will see fault in others or not. And if we see or find faults in others, how we will express it or should not express. What we will do? This is the practical question. But religion here to help me, to guide me, to develop my character. So naturally we will discuss it, and what is the conclusion? Conclusion is, if I know that I am going to help this man, then what I should do? As Swami Vivekananda advised, do not criticize openly. Take him aside and discuss with him. Try to know his viewpoint and then tell, these are the shortcomings that you are having. Try to rectify. That is the way you can help. So this is how we should behave. Seeing fault or finding fault, that the teachers, the parents, the guardians, and also the spiritual teachers, they should find it and try to rectify it, not denouncing it. So criticism is completely different, and finding faults or the defects, and with great love and affection, when we are trying to rectify those, that is a completely different thing. Sri Ramakrishna is not mentioning about that. So he is asking Hajra not to criticize. So here again, and why not? It goes to viewpoint of the Hindus, of the Vedanta we can say. Why not criticize? So it goes in this way. It is Narayana himself who has assumed all these forms. One can worship even a wicked person. Haven't you observed the Kumari Puja? Here, let me read it again. It is Narayana himself who has assumed all these forms. Narayana himself. So we were reading a book written by Swami Vivekananda's brother about the Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda ji. The Brahmananda ji went to see the Jagannath temple, and he was a very emotional person, a devotee. He went and he saw the Jagannath. He must have seen the Jagannath, the view up there, and he could not control his emotion. He started crying before everyone, and he was shedding tears profusely. All people were aghast. They were turning to him, they were looking at him. Swami Vivekananda afterwards, he told him, you should not express your emotion in that way. If you are expressing your emotion, the people will think that we should go and cry. So hypocrisy will come. Without understanding anything, their outward expression will be to draw the attention of the people, appreciation of the people. See, I am crying, I am wailing for God, though he is truly not. This is called a dramatic way to get the attention. Many of the people that do. And in the name of religion, it is so easy because no other will be able to see God. And they will think you are talking to God, you are seeing God, you are crying to God, and they will appreciate you. Don't do it. And that is what Ramakrishna mission monks, they always follow. No expression externally. So if we do that, then what happens? The people will also follow that without truly realizing that. Afterwards, Swami Brahmananda ji, the first president of the Ramakrishna order, and the mind-born son of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was a so high soul about whom Swami Vivekananda said he is the highest in spirituality, like that. But still, no outward expression. Religion should be inside. And when you are asking people, so in a different way. So this is what we should, Narayana himself, in everyone. That is the reason. The main reason is this, why not criticize? And the Ma Sharadamani Devi also said, if you want peace, my child, don't find fault with others. Why? The basis is the Vedanta. Because there is nothing but the Brahman. There is nothing but the expression of God. So that is the very high point. Then you come down, take the position of a teacher, take the position of the mother, father, take the position of a guardian. We are supposed to rectify the children, guide the children. Then this same thing will be, as we were discussing, it will be not criticizing, but finding the defects in that growing up person, maybe elderly, but in the spiritual life, he is a child. So obviously you have to rectify. You should not do like this, you should not do like that. So this is the way. And he is telling that you must do like this. Two monks had arrived at the temple garden in the morning. So another picture, so we find Sri Ramakrishna is talking with these two. They were devoted to the study of Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta. They were not devotee, they were following the path of knowledge. Now these two have come. All this devotion we were talking, Sri Ramakrishna was talking about devotion. Now suddenly two monks they have entered and they are the followers of the path of knowledge. And that's why Master Mahasaya very correctly he is mentioning they study only Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta. Vedanta means Upanishads. So they always discuss about the Brahman, all-pervading consciousness, like that. And other scripture, they entered the master's room, saluted him, and sat on the mat on the floor. Sri Ramakrishna was seated on the small couch. The master spoke to the sadhus in Hindustani. Sri Ramakrishna knew that language because he used to talk with many other people, particularly adjacent to Dakshineshwar, where he used to stay, the garden just close to that, there was a factory, and that factory's guards, they were mostly Punjabis. They used to talk in Hindi. So Sri Ramakrishna developed, to some extent, the spoken Hindi. So he used to speak in Hindi. Now he is using that. Have you had your meal? Master is asking to those monks. Yes, sir. What did you eat? Dal and bread. Will you take some? So they were asking Sri Ramakrishna. So you can imagine the Sri Ramakrishna affectionately asking these two young boys, the two monks, whether you have taken food or not. People, those who are from the West and all, they will think, oh, why all this? Why he should ask whether I have taken food or not? No, that is the affection. There's a love, concern for the person who are visiting. So have you taken, what you have eaten? What you have taken food? So that is the question, because there's so closeness. What did you eat? Dal and bread. In Hindi they say dal roti. So naturally dal and bread. Will you take some? Master, no. I take only a few morsels of rice. The Sri Ramakrishna from Bengal, the Bengal is a rice eating mainly. So he said, I took rice. But these people are coming from the northern part of India, Punjab and UP. So they are habituated with the bread, roti. Well, your japa and meditation must be without any desire for result. Isn't that so? After this, see, this is how the realized soul they live. The question that the Uddhava has asked to Sri Krishna, how I will understand it is a man of realized soul, the man of liberation, the liberated person, how I will understand that? Now, they will always speak about God, about spirituality. They cannot talk about other things. Other things they are talking, but at the same time, the main thrust will be, the main point will be only spirituality, religion, all the time, every time. So Sri Ramakrishna, immediately he goes to your japa and meditation must be without any desire for result. Isn't that so? The sadhu replied, yes, sir. That is good. One must surrender the result to God. What do you say? That is the view of the Gita. Sri Ramakrishna himself didn't read the Gita, but he knew all this whole Gita. His memory was very sharp. Whatever he heard, immediately he memorized. And he knew the exact teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. There are many people who can recite all the 700 verses, but it is of no use. You have to understand the truth that the Gita is trying to bring home. So that Sri Ramakrishna said, the Gita means completely giving away everything to God, isn't that? One sadhu said to other, quoting from the Gita. The original verse, it is in the 9th chapter, 27th verse, where the Bhagavad Gita it says, Yat karoshi, yat asnashi, yat juhosi, dadasi yat tapassasi kaunteya, tat kurushya mad arpanam. That is the in Sanskrit verse. And this is the way, when the two monks they go, any reference, immediately they will quote the original so that they can memorize that, and that way help both. So this is, he said, one to another, he said, if you, he is telling, one sadhu said to another, quoting from the Gita, O Arjuna, whatever action you perform, yat karoshi, whatever you eat, yad asnasi, whatever you offer to in sacrifice, yat juhosi, whatever you give in charity, dadasi yat, whatever austerities you practice, yat tapassasi kaunteya, kaunteya means the Arjuna, tat kurushya mad arpanam, offer everything to me. The spiritual life means what? Practicing austerity. What is the austerity? Taking the mind out from the worldly thoughts and giving it to God. All the time that. So when we are just before eating food, or at the time and when you are eating also, we try to think about God, that I am feeding God. That is first. And for the japa, when you sit for meditation and japa, and there also, God, this is for you that I am doing, please reveal thyself. That's all. And then I offer it to, as we always say, we are the followers of Sri Ramakrishna, we say Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We give it to Sri Ramakrishna. Why? We will come to that at the end of this page. Then you will find what happens when we are giving it to God. Why God is asking everything from his devotee? And devotee is Arjuna, his friend, his beloved. And he sees, the God sees that he is Arjuna. So in Bhagavad Gita itself he said that. So that is why he is asking him to give everything. Here we find that if you give God something, you receive it back 1,000 times over. So this is the reason. You give all the japa, only 108, or maybe some people 1,000. And when you are doing that, if we give it to God, God, I tried to meditate, I tried to control my mind, I tried to overcome all the passions and the desires. Now I give all those try and thing to God, and what I will get back? 1,000 more. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is giving. If you give God something, it's not a faith, it's not a belief, it's the fact, because Sri Ramakrishna is telling it. So here I must say, the Sri Ramakrishna never came to deceive us, or just telling some the words so that we will be interested in it. No, nothing like that. The truth only, whatever he said, truth. And it's not me. Ma Sharadamani Devi, Bhagavan Swami Vivekananda and many others, they say whatever Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said is the truth. So here when he said, if you give, whatever you give to God, 1,000 times better you get back. And that is why after doing meritorious deed, one offers a handful of water to God. That is the usual practice. After doing the japa, after doing some good work, they take a small little water in the making a cup of this palm, and then it offered to God, saying that the arpanamastu. And you need not to calculate, it will automatically, all those things will come back to you. They say God is like the ocean. The ocean never takes anything. If you throw anything, and if you go to the sea beach and throw a bottle or anything, it will come back. It never takes. The same way, whatever we are giving to God, but God don't need anything, doesn't need anything. So obviously it's giving back. And what is giving back? 1,000 times more than whatever he gave. And then he is telling, when Yudhishthira was about to offer all his sins to Krishna, Bhima warned him, never do such a thing. Whatever you offer to Krishna, you will receive back 1,000-fold. So that is the main thing. That don't give bad things. Here sometimes we find that the people, they are pouring water to God. This is a system particularly in the southern part of India. They go and they offer the half fill or the full fill pitcher, the water. So the Purna Kumbha Snana, Ardha Kumbha Snana, nothing wrong. But one should be careful what you are pouring. The water is the symbol of your karma phala. And if you are offering your karma phala to God, you should be careful. Is it good karma phala that I am giving, or the bad karma phala I am giving? If I give the bad karma phala, 1,000 times more it will come back. And if I give the good one, of course 1,000 times good will come back. So that is the reason one should be careful. Swami Vivekananda in one place he said that any sin committed outside the holy place, the result is less. But inside the holy place, if you do the same sin, commit the same sin, the punishment will be 1,000-fold. These are not just words, these are truth. So one should be careful about it. So he says in this that if you give God something, you receive it back 1,000-fold. Then one sadhu to another, well, sir, one should be desireless. One should renounce all desire. Isn't that so? Now, Sri Ramakrishna is asking to one of the monks. Sri Ramakrishna was asking to one of the two monks, so one should be desireless. One should renounce all desires. Isn't that so? Sadhu, yes, sir. Master, but I have the desire for bhakti. See how he is teaching them. I have the desire for bhakti. The desire for bhakti, God, please reveal thyself to me, it is not a desire. God, please hold my hand and don't leave me alone, it is not a desire. The last time we were reading, Swami Vivekananda ji used to say, "Oh Mother, keep me always, allow me to sit on your lap all the time and hold me tight. Even if I wish to go out of you, don't allow me to do that. It is not a desire." These are the prayers. Then slowly, this type of prayers that purify the mind. I want to be with you, God. I don't want the pleasures of your Maya. So that is not desire, that is the prayer. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, but I have the desire for bhakti. But that is not bad, or rather it is good. So Sri Ramakrishna is mentioned in this way. And Sri Ramakrishna then asking the sadhu. Then the sadhu said, yes, sir. The master, well, sir, what do you think of the Vedanta? Now see how he is slowly, he is talking with the two monks and he is trying to understand how much they know and what actually they are doing. Different type of monks came, but Sri Ramakrishna is talking with them for a long time and with all these topics. So that means he liked them. The young two monks, I think they were young because they were roaming around and they came from the north to the east. So obviously the Sri Ramakrishna is talking to them, he liked them. And the God is liking them and trying to help them to clear their understanding about the Vedanta and the knowledge. They are so blessed. The Sri Ramakrishna asking one of them, what do you think of the Vedanta? Then the sadhu says, it includes all the 6 systems of philosophy. So here the answer, but the other systems they won't like it. That there are so many arguments and counter arguments on that. And if the Vedanta is having all the 6, Vedantin they always say that. But the others don't accept that. That is a controversial point. But he says, because he loves Vedanta, he said all others are included in it. It includes all the 6 systems of philosophy. Sri Ramakrishna didn't go into that. He said, but the essence of Vedanta is, this is the beauty of Sri Ramakrishna. We always talk about, and other people always talk about the quoting different verses only to prove how much they know. But Sri Ramakrishna is a true master, true teacher. He never wastes time in that way. He goes straight to the truth and then reveal it in that way, so that, oh, I will read this book, I will read that book. Why? The Vedanta means this. That's sufficient. And if you want to get the conviction, some of the way the Vedantin they try to prove it, the two ways we can go. One is Shabda, proof. What is the proof? Shabda. What is the Shabda? Apta-vakya. Who is the Apta? Realized soul. And who can be better than Sri Ramakrishna? He not only realized he himself was that same God in the human form. So obviously, having that complete faith in the beliefs in the words of Sri Ramakrishna, what is the Vedanta? Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. I have no separate existence. I am the Brahman alone. Isn't that so? Brahma Shatya Jagan Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva na apara. That is what the Shankaracharya said. And Sri Ramakrishna here in his own mother tongue he said that. Brahma Shatya, what is that Brahman? All pervasive, all inclusive, everything consciousness. There cannot be anything else. So Brahma Shatya. Jagat, whatever we see, is the projection on that Brahman, is a superimposition on that Brahman. How? Through Maya. What is this Maya? It is covering the truth and imposing something else which is not truth. So this is whole about the Vedanta. In a nutshell, this. Shankaracharya himself said, Sloka ardhena pravakshami yaduktva grantha kotivi. I will tell you, I will narrate you in half a verse, which the crores of, the millions of scriptures are telling. What is that? Brahma Shatya. Brahman is the truth. Jagat Mithya. It is not truth. Jiva Brahmaiva na apara. Jiva means the individual self is the Brahman itself and nothing else. Sri Ramakrishna said the same thing, so just in his own language, and that is Vedanta. So then the Sadhu is telling that is true, sir. He was telling that all philosophy inclusive in the Vedanta. He could not come to this particular point. Did you notice that? So when Sri Ramakrishna is asking, so what do you think of Vedanta? Instead of telling this point, he said all the six philosophies are inclusive in the Vedanta. That is a different idea. It may not be accepted by all. There may be a lot of arguments and counter arguments. Sri Ramakrishna didn't go to that. He pointed out exactly what is Vedanta. So the question and the answer should be to the point. What is the to the point? What is Vedanta? I am Brahman and nothing else. And this world is illusory. It's not false. It is there. But what I see is not true. It is illusory and not false. I will never say the table is not there. I will never say that I am giving a talk and the live stream is going on, or it will be online discourses. It is true. But this is not permanent. That is the thing. Before me, so many leaders came, spiritual teachers came, they also spoke. Maybe in those days, this the high tech was not there, but they went all around, they spoke, that is also there. Then things changed. then after me also something else will come. They were discussing about the 3D projection. Then you can see me just before you, talking to you, like that. Maybe this is the science, but this is temporary. So it is not there, not like that. It is there. But at the same time, it is not true. Why? It is temporary. So just like that is the reason they always say that it is like the mirage. The mirage we see, and as long as we see the mirage, we never think that it is false. But in reality, there is nothing. So this is exactly what the Vedantin they talk about. Now this line I will read of Sri Ramakrishna's statement, and then we will conclude for today. And Sri Ramakrishna said, but for those who lead a householder's life and those who identify themselves with the body, this attitude, I am he, is not good. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna said. I am always what I feel. Sri Ramakrishna is the great master, and he doesn't want to spend time unnecessarily talking or arguing. He goes to the truth and he points out the truth, and he says, understand your position and then try to go upwards. So I am a householder, I have so many responsibilities, and naturally, being an householder, even being a monk, I have not overcome the body consciousness. So obviously, this path right this moment is not for me. But for those who lead a householder's life and those who identify themselves with the body, this attitude, what is that attitude? Vedantic attitude. I am he, I am that God. It is truth. But this truth, right this moment, I should not apply on myself because I am not ready yet. That is, it's not good. It is not good for the householders to read Vedanta or Yoga Vasishta. It's Sri Ramakrishna's words. And these Vedanta, Swami Vivekananda presented to the modern world. And how it is? A Yoga Vasishta, Sri Ramakrishna said you should not read. And then we are selling so many copies to the householder. Who are purchasing? Very few monks, mostly householders are purchasing. Why we are doing it? Because the situation not only changed, Vedanta conception changed. How? Swami Vivekananda gave the Vedanta in a completely beautiful way, completely nice, a different way. How it is? What is this Vedanta? He said, the more I grow, more it seems to me everything lies in manliness. And what is this manliness? Self-confidence. And this self-confidence is not ego. Self-confidence is, I can do it, and I can be a better cobbler, I can be a better doctor, I can be a better administrator, and whatever I am doing, I can be the better in that field. That is Vedanta. Vivekananda's Vedanta, self-confidence. And how this self-confidence is coming? I am also that God, that power is within me. I can naturally achieve this thing. So from that point, slowly, slowly, the more he becomes matured, more he will understand this truth. I am doing this because I am having that supreme power within me. So we can discuss this maybe in the next discourse in the next week. Thank you, friends. Let us chant this mantra and conclude today. Niranjanam नित्यमनन्तरूपं भक्तानुकम्पा धृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमिड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।